All right, and welcome to the Daily Space Weather Show. We're going to have to shorten this one up quite a bit because of time constraints and because of certain responsibilities that I won't get into at this point. Trust me, by the end of July, you'll understand why we produced a few less videos throughout the month of July. We'll let you know. There's a CME happening as we make the video. That's why we're looking at the GO 16 SUVI here. That's the past 2.5 hours of solar activity. And of course, we're going to show you all the detailed solar imagery that we normally do. By the way, thanks for tuning into the Smash News Network, least busted name of news. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. We're frankly surprised. And remember, folks, it's never too late to be what you might have been. Yes, don't give up, folks. Don't give up. I'll be proving in a couple of years that 50 is the new 30. So, yeah, it's never too late to be what you might have been, a quote by George Eliot. Radio flux down to 171. The sunspot number is hovering around 200. No big deal there. There's some CMEs on the way, as many as 2. I think there are 2 more CMEs on the way, likely to arrive on July 5th. So we'll show those here momentarily. First, NOAA's forecast. NOAA's expecting a CME impact tomorrow night into July 4th, and we're expecting one at any moment. So again, some disparities, just like we said yesterday, in terms of the forecasts. So there's NOAA's Enlil forecast, and yeah, that largely reflects what I just said. Looks like a very minor impact. We'll show you the CMEs here in a minute. As far as ESA's forecast, nothing new on their Enlil spiral. So we'll skip Earth's magnetic moment from space and the ground level. We are expecting a geomagnetic storm. It could be a quite significant one. And again, could arrive at any moment. Now, we have seen some rapid changes in the GOES magnetometers, but no changes to the solar wind here that are noteworthy and indicative of a coronal mass ejection impact. There's the data from ACE. You got about 1.5 protons per cubic centimeter at 382 kilometers per second. And at Discover, you got about 5 protons per cubic centimeter at about 400 kilometers per second. So here you see a pretty big variation there happening in the GOES 18 magnetometer. That could be the predecessor to a CME impact. So we'll have to see what happens there. We'll keep an eye on that for you. And when I say eye on, pardon the pun. Let's look at coronal holes briefly, as that is the next solar imagery we've got. There are the past 4 days from the NSO for coronal hole line of sight field plot. And here are coronal holes from SDO. So like we said a couple days ago and yesterday, that those coronal holes in the east are going to become more and more well-defined as they rotate into the Earth-facing zone. There you have that going on. Those coronal holes are of south pole orientation. No, the one right in the middle of the disk there, that is, well, it's a little north of the center of the disk. That's actually north pole orientation. Let's bring up the last image here. There you go. So yeah, that's North Pole. And yeah, let's move on here. Sunspot number here just under 200 at about 198. 198 sunspots is the current situation. And let's look at sunspots here from the perspective of SDO. There's the magnetogram. Things have been mostly stable here since yesterday, so nothing exciting going on for sunspots. There's the SDO HMI continuum. That's what approximately 200 sunspots look like. We do have some active regions looking like they're rising, and you can see one there rising over the southeast. So that's likely another sunspot. And let's see. Flaring has been mild. We've only seen C-class intensifications. Let's take a look at CMEs and close this thing out. So CMEs are next, and you can see one's going to come out of the south. That is going to have an earthly directed component, I suspect, because it is right in the center of the disk. So that can be deceptive. I suspect there'll be a CME impact, or let's make it 2, coming on the 5th. The other one, you can see another filamentary motion and a hider flare kind of right in the center of disk. So right in here, right at the end of the movie, right in there. So that'll be likely to arrive, both of those will be likely to arrive late in the day on the 5th and or early in the day on July 6th. So that's what's going on. That's the scenario. Again, expecting a CME impact sometime soon, as well as in a few days. So That's what's going on. We'll keep an eye on those filaments. And when I say ion, well, the pun's intentional. Check it out. Lots of ions depicted there. That's the 304 angstroms SDO imagery along with the 193 angstrom 60-minute running difference. So, yeah, that's where we'll close things out. Thanks for tuning into the Daily Space Weather Show and the Smash News Network least busted name in news. And until the next time, may that solar wind be at your back.